Hello students, welcome to TechBox. In our last video, I have taught you how to change the background color in SQL and how to change the text color and how to increase the size of the screen in SQL working environment. Okay, in our today's video, we are going to learn aggregate functions in SQL part. Understand? So the aggregate functions are nothing but group functions. We can call these aggregate functions as a group function. See here, aggregate functions or group functions. So you should not get confused if they are asking if any questions like group functions. So don't hesitate. So it is nothing but an aggregate functions. So these aggregate functions work upon group of rows rather than single rows. Okay, so this aggregate function is working on group of rows rather than on a single rows. So MySQL is supporting the group functions or aggregate functions which works upon group of rows rather than the single rows. So you should understand what is meant by aggregate. So the name aggregate itself you can able to understand. It is like combination of more than one items. Okay, here the items are nothing but the functions. So the group of functions is called as a aggregate functions. So now we are going to see the aggregate functions line by line. The first function in aggregate function is sum function. So all you know about sum. Sum is nothing but addition, right? So this function returns the sum of values in the given column or expression. So whatever it is, in a particular column, if you are having a salary, then if you give the sum of total salary, then the salary is getting added, then it will give you as a output part. If you need to calculate the total marks of the students, then you can calculate by using this sum function. This function returns the sum of values in a given column or expression. So the expression in sense, you can use the scalar expressions also. I have taught you in the previous video, so you can go and check it in that. Okay. So syntax for creating the sum function is select sum of all, and you should specify the column name. Okay. Select, you should write sum, and then you should write the column name. If you select this distinct, if you write distinct means it will give you what? It will not give you the null values. Then if you give all, then it includes the null values. Understand? So the next is from table name. You should write the table name, which table you are working. So example, select sum of marks. So if you need this column, the marks column, total sum you should need means you should write select sum of marks from the table student. Okay. Otherwise you can write like this, select sum of marks. After that, if you put this total marks of all students in quotes, then it will display in your output column also from student. The third type is select sum of distinct marks from students. Okay, I shall like to work upon this. So now I am going to select the database. Okay. Going to use student database. I am having student database inside, so I am going to use the student database. So let us see what are the tables available inside this student database. For that I am going to type show tables. So we are not having any tables inside, so we can use some other databases. Okay, show databases. Okay, let me work upon We can work on employee database. Okay. Show tables. It will show you the number of tables inside this databases. We are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tables here inside this are available. So we can select anything, select start from, and I'm going to write EMP. So see here, this is DNO, department number, and this is E-code, and this is gross. So if you need to get sum of gross, just write select sum function, then the column name we are going to add. So sum of gross from the table name. So the table name here is what? EMP. So I am writing that here. So it is calculating all the numbers. It is adding all the values in the particular column called as gross. So the addition is here. Okay. The second method is what? Select sum of gross. You can write distinct. Okay, here I am writing distinct gross from EMP. Okay. Or you can write select all gross from EMP. So all the things are what? It is giving you the addition of particular columns. Understand? Hope you all understand. So the next function we are going to learn is average function. So the average function is nothing but this function is computing the average of the given data. All you need to know is this average function is used to compute the average of the given data. The syntax for this is select average column name from table name. You should write all these things. Example here, it is given here. The first example, select average of marks from student. Okay, or else select average of distinct marks from student. Hope you understand. So now I'm going to show you the command called average. Select AVG. You should use AVG gross. Average of gross from EMP. So it is giving you the average value of a particular column, right? So the next function is max function. This max function is nothing but it is called as a maximum. Max is representing the maximum. So this function returns the maximum value from the given column or expression. So it is what? It is giving you the value which is more number, okay, which is more in highest in number, maximum number in a particular column. So syntax is select maximum column name from table name, and the example is select maximum of marks from the student. Okay, let me work on this also. So I am writing select, just write in which we are working, maxing. So max function, maximum of gross value it is giving return. So it is returned 9001. So let us go and check the tables. So in the gross column we are having 1000, 5679, 3436, 6790 and 9001. So among all these numbers, it is returning the highest value called as 9001. Okay. So likewise, the next function is the opposite of max function, which is your minimum function. Okay. So the next is min function. This min function is returning the minimum value of a given column or an expression. So the min is representing the minimum value. The syntax is here: select minimum column name from table name, and the example is given here: select minimum of marks from student. So what is this? This is just writing in quotes. This minimum marks will be displayed in your output screen. Okay, just I will type it here and I will show you. So select, just write min, M-I-N, min of gross. After that, after selecting the column, in the quotation marks, you can write minimum, okay, minimum gross from EMP. So whenever we are putting the quotes, so this quotes, the value, the string inside the quotes will be your column name. Okay, minimum gross is 1000. So we can go and check the minimum value. We already checked the maximum value is 9001, and the minimum value is 1000 in this particular column called as gross column. Okay, instead of what? Max of gross, average of gross, if you are giving the title also, it will display that same title here. To display the same title, whichever you needed. So for that you should write the particular string in the quotation marks. Okay. So the next function is count star. So the count star function. So this function is counting the number of rows in the given column or expression, including the null and the duplicate values. Okay, so it will be counting the number of rows in a column, including the null values or duplicate values. For that you should write select count of star from table name. Example is given here: select count of star from student. So whenever we are including the star will be retrieving all the null and duplicate values. So just write. So you should write count star from student. Okay, just write count star here. Count of star from EMP. So it will be retrieving total number of rows. So how many students are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So it is retrieving the 6. It is counting the values and retrieving the value. Okay. So this function counts the number of rows. Okay. It will be counting the number of rows and it will be delivered there in the output. So the next function, the last aggregate function in our part is what? Simply the count function. So this function counts the number of not null values. Okay, it will be counting only the not null values. It will not count the null values. The syntax for this is select count of column name from table name, and the example is select count of marks from the students. So you should enter the column name here. Okay. So instead of star, you should write the column name gross. Okay, it is giving you 5. So let us check why it is giving you 5. Because it is not including this null value 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It is counting the non-value columns, non-value rows. Okay. So hope you all understand the aggregate functions. Okay. If you are having any doubt in the videos, you can comment in the comment box section, and subscribe the channel and share with your friends also. Study well. All the best. Thank you.